Okay.
Hello, welcome to another episode of my podcast, Fitlike. I'm joined tonight by Lianne Winton. Lianne is into horses, she's into running, she's into science, and she's also into weight loss, which Lianne will explain shortly. So my first question tonight is, Lianne, Fitlike.
I'm all right. Fit like yourself.
I'm very well, thank you, and thanks for coming on, Lianne.
It's a pleasure. Chuffed to be here.
We both work in a school.
Yep.
I
That's
want
right.
to take you back to a time in your life when you were just leaving school. So, Lianne, I'll hand over to you and you take up the story from there.
Okay, so I did 6 years at school. I stayed on till my sixth year because I had a great passion for science, and I studied chemistry and biology at higher level. Unfortunately for me, I failed both. At the time, of course, you think, oh, it's the end of the world, it's this and that. And so I averted at the time. I thought, you know what, just go out there and get a job, any job, and buy a horse. Totally passionate about horses, loved horses all my life, and yeah, it's something I wanted to do. So I'm proud to say that I actually got a job in the chicken factory at the time, Grampian Country Chickens in Banff, sadly no longer there. It was a job, it's money, and yeah, I'll never regret working there. I think it teaches you a lot as well to work in a factory. It's hard work. It was money well spent when I did buy my first horse. I had her for a wee while, and then I decided to get something a bit bigger, and that's when I bought Ebony. She was kind of the love of my life, a Welsh Section D. I bought her from a lady just outside Fraserburgh on the Mormont Hill. So yeah, I would go up and down, and I got to know the horse first before taking her home. As Lorna said, you know, it'd be good to work with her, and then it was thanks to Lorna that I actually took a passion for sheep as well, because she'd 300 sheep at that point in time. We're talking 20 plus years ago, but I got really into lambing as well. It was just amazing. I remember tramping the fields at night with the wind and the rain, you know, February, March time, but I just loved it. I just love the outdoors. So yeah, eventually I got Eb home and continued working at the factory for a wee while, but I got itchy feet. I thought, no, I'm wanting more than this. I need to do more than this. And at that point in time, I think in 2001, I saw a job advert for a laboratory assistant in the hospital in Aberdeen. I thought, I'm going to go for that. I'm going to try for that. So luckily got the job. So I was a lab assistant in medical microbiology and diagnostics.
Oh, very good.
Fantastic job. Absolutely fantastic. Just amazing. I think I spent 6 years there, and that just sparked something in me, and I thought, I'm not sitting here. I'm going to try again and see if I can get my qualification. It was biomedical sciences to become a biomedical scientist, you know, at the labs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to go for this. Of course, I'd been out of education for 10 years at this point. So I contacted the college, who said, okay, we've got an access course. It's a year long. If you complete it, then RGU would most likely give you an unconditional offer. So I went to the college in Aberdeen. It was absolutely fantastic, a great year, and it was NABS at the time or something, it doesn't matter, it's not proper exams, but it was the equivalent of doing my hires again, passed with flying colours, and then got into do my biomedical sciences at uni. Absolutely fantastic. Again, you know, I'm not naturally brainy, I'm not naturally sort of academic, I've got to work for it, but sometimes I think, well, that makes it all the more worthwhile. In my first year, I did fail my maths because I'm absolutely rubbish at maths, but that's okay. I went and got extra help. I know I'm rubbish at maths. My poor colleague now just tears his hair with me because I'm like, oh, I can't do that. But I can, you know, if you sit back and you say, come on now, just sit down and think about it, you can. So I did. I passed my maths with a C. I was chuffed with that. I thought, great, I can carry on. It was also a course with placement. Yeah. So you placement in year 2 and then placement in year 3.
Yeah.
So aced that. The placements were fantastic. It was absolutely brilliant. But at the end of the course, I decided to become a mummy. So I had my kids.
Leanne, can I stop you there, please? Before you tell me about being a mum, you says you weren't very academic, you weren't good at maths, but listening to you, you sound a very, very driven person. What's your inspiration for your drive?
That's what it's all about. You know, if you've got that passion for something, I needed that maths to carry on in the chemistry and biology, you know. I really, really needed that maths, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to stick in really hard. That gave me the drive to keep going and just to stick it out. And, you know, it's not an interesting subject to me, maths, but it opened the door to carrying on my education further. I didn't have to do maths again after first year. It gave me the drive to just keep going and just crack on with it. I mean, yes, there is maths in chemistry. There even is a wee bit maths in biology. If you sit back and think about it, it's not difficult when you're doing it. And my job, where I am now at the school, you mentioned, we do what we call molar calculations, but because I'm doing it, it becomes second nature. It's so worth sticking in so hard for these things. It really is.
Okay.
It's definitely worth it. Yeah, that gives me the drive. It's just
good.
It's just thinking to yourself, do you know what? People in life will tell you, no, you're not good enough to do that. I mean, I had people when I was at school, I had people say to me, you know, you failed your hires, you can't go to uni, you can't do this, you can't do X, Y, and Z. And I just sometimes think that gives you the drive. You think, you know what? I am going to do this. I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to do this.
Good.
And I'm going to do it with cherries on top, you know. Yeah. It really did make me more determined. I also had a boss, would you believe? When I was an assistant at the labs, I had a boss as well say to me, I think you'd be better doing nursing rather than the biomed, because you know that you can't. So when I was in front of his doing my second year placement, he kind of had to eat his words. It was great. But it gives you that drive, because you just think, I can't wait to see this person who told me that I can't do that. Anyone can do anything. Anyone can do anything. You've just got to stick it out. You really just work hard. It's so worth it. You work really hard, work your socks off.
Exactly. And what a fantastic statement you just give for anybody that's maybe got a little bit of self-doubt if they want to do something. If you don't put the work and the drive in, you will never, ever know. And don't go through life thinking, what if? You've done it and you passed it. Give yourself a good pat on the back. Now you can tell me all about being a mummy.
Agreed. Try to think where else. Yes, so I became a mummy and we moved back up north to Banff. So at that point, I was still working sort of part-time at the labs, but in 2014, I decided to leave because the travelling was really difficult, you know, with two young kids, and my then partner was working a lot. So unfortunately, I wasn't as active as I used to be. I still had the horses at this point. I had 5 at that point. I had a wee patch of ground at Banff. 11 acres. It was down by the beach in Banff. It was really nice. I had 5 horses, a couple of ponies, and my Ebony, of course, my beautiful Ebony. I did everything on her. And but I just thought, you know, 2 years had passed, and in the sidelines here, I was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I'll get back to that. So in 2016, I applied for a job at the school where we work now, and luckily. So now I'm in a job, again, it's science-based, it's sort of up with the technicians in science, so it's absolutely fantastic. But however, I'm still getting bigger and bigger, so I'll revert onto this. In 2018, I thought, can't do this no more. Again, you know, it's like we said about the education, really, it's about drive and about wanting to do something. If you want something hard enough, you will do it.
Right.
And it came in January 2018, I thought, enough. I am nearly 16 stone, just under 16 stone I was at the time. I thought, I'm not doing this anymore. Nope. So at this point I decided, I thought, yeah, I think I'll go on a diet. But I didn't want to be stupid with it, because you see a lot of people crash dieting. It's not the way forward. You've got to be sensible. So I downloaded an app called MyFitnessPal, and it helps you because you type in how much calories. I wanted to do 1,200 calories a day. It also helps you by saying, you need to eat this amount of protein, this amount of carbs, and your macros and all that. I was only interested in protein because by this point I was starting to walk and stuff. And I needed to see how much protein and carbs.
Right, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to record absolutely everything I'd eaten, and it would tell you if you were over, if you needed to eat more. And sometimes I was pleasantly surprised, and I was thinking, oh, I've got a few calories. I can have a wee yogurt in the evening, it's great. But alongside that, I started walking. I have a treadmill. So as I said, it was my close horse for about 5 years before I ever bothered with it.
So it had a use, eh?
I had a use, always had a use. I thought, I'll just start walking on this. So yeah, I started walking, and I was starting to see results, admittedly starting to see results. And I thought, yeah, I'm happy with this. I thought, wonder if I could run. I'd tried running in the past, but I'd never really been for me. I always struggled. So I'd seen a couple of groups on Facebook about running and stuff, and I thought, I'm going to try this. I really am. Again, it doesn't come easy. It's not easy. It's so difficult when you're carrying so much extra weight and you've never really run before. You learn as you go. I was wearing the wrong shoes and whatnot, but it doesn't matter. I ran for 30 seconds. And then I would walk for a couple of minutes, run for 30 seconds, and then I would usually amount that up to like half an hour a day.
Okay.
So I started to see more results, and then I was starting to get a bit more zest for it. I was like, oh, I like this. I like the running. I really do. It's hard. It's still hard. And I thought, nah, I'll stick with it. It's kind of like being like a dog with a bone. If you stick in, you get results. So I managed to run more and more frequently, but it was getting boring on the treadmill. But also seeing more posts about people who run outside, and I thought, would I? I'll never run any races or be around people, but if I maybe try a run in a back road or something, just on my own where nobody can see me, because I'm not very confident. So I tried it. I tried a wee run. I did a wee 5K, and I think I was about 40 minutes. But again, who cares about time?
How did you feel after doing it, Lianne?
Eh?
How did you feel after doing your 5K?
I just felt absolutely amazing. It gives you a buzz better than treadmill, even for me. Some people prefer the treadmill, but I don't. I got out there that very first time. I got out there, I came back, and I thought, this is amazing. Wow, absolutely amazing. Again, it still took time, really, though, for me to run in a public place where there were people.
And you just got to build the confidence.
It is. It's, if you're overweight, and I'm not a particularly confident person anyway, so you've got to build in that, but you've also got to have it up here. You've got to say to yourself, I will do this. I want to do this. And if you've got that drive, again, as you say, that drive to want, I was starting to see the results. The pounds were falling off, and that was also giving me confidence. And I thought, yes, I love this. So I took the plunge, and I had a run one night. Again, this was still just 2018. It was coming May, June time. I remember it being nice weather. Lots of people in the park. Went down to Duff House, and I thought, I'll just run to the mausoleum and back. I'll just try it. I sat in my car and I looked, and I thought, I can't do this. And I thought, I can. Yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get out. I thought, let's just step out the car and see how I feel. Stepped out the car and took it. I thought, oh, I don't think I can do this. Everybody's looking, or everybody's going to look. But you know what? No one's interested. No one's going to look. Just another runner, because at the end of the day, a lot of people run now. I don't mean that in a derogatory sense. It's just like you blend in. It's normal. You're just somebody else going out for a run, keeping fit, whatnot else. So I did that first run, and I think that's really what did it for me. It really unleashed it for me to be able to run in front of folk. And then that's when I thought, maybe I would try for a little 5K race. So Huntly Room to Run. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. The Huntly Hurst. It's held every September.
I don't know.
It's a really great event, and it's held every September, and there's all sorts of stalls and everything going on, but they hold a running event. Back then, it was, I think, a 5K and a 10K, so I would sign up for that. I'll sign up for that. So I did, and I did it, and I felt absolutely amazing. I thought, this is great. This is absolutely amazing. I just love this. The atmosphere, getting the medal at the end, like, oh, medal. I got a personal best. I ran my 5K in 30 minutes. For me, that's such a big achievement, you know. Then, you know, time, yes, but it's not everything. It's you're not racing against others. You're racing against yourself. You're trying to be better than you were yesterday. That's all that matters to me. What I did yesterday and what I can do today and what I can do tomorrow, maybe if I try a little harder or try this or I try that, you know. So yeah, and their personal best, I thought, oh, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. It really gives you such a kick and a boost, and you what they call the runner's high. It's just like, wow.
I can imagine.
And by this point, I had got down to my goal weight, which was, I didn't set anything silly either. It was just 10 stone 2. And I had managed over this time, all this training had helped me get down to my goal weight. So I was really, really chuffed with that. And again, you know, being sensible, really, I brought my calories up to 1,500 a day, because you're using more, you're burning more running and stuff. And it's all about not being silly. You know,
Absolutely.
it's trying to keep that balance, and not being hungry and making sure you're fueled properly. I think after the 5K, I did do 110K in Aberdeen. I don't know, again, you maybe not heard of the Great Aberdeen Run?
No, I've done a few runs in Aberdeen. Right, Lianne, before you tell me about that run, at the time you started running and losing weight, how much weight had you lost by this time?
I think it was close on 6 stone, just under 6 stone altogether. I was about almost 16 stone and then down to 10 stone 2. I did dip down into 9 stone odds, but it just wasn't for me. I couldn't keep it. So yeah.
Obviously, you've lost 6 stone. Looking in the mirror, you must feel fantastic. But more importantly, how was you feeling from inside out, if that makes sense?
Felt amazing. I felt $1 million. You know, I had no backache. I used to get a sore shoulder, no sore shoulder. Don't get me wrong, Willie. When I started training, as I say, I don't know if you recall, I said I was wearing the wrong trainers for a start. So, of course, I've got the classic shin splints. A lot of people that take up running will get shin splints. But again, it's trying to be sensible. And I thought, okay, what's this pain? And I looked into it, and some of the people in the Facebook groups that are following out, oh, it might be shin splints. Go and get your gait analysed, you know, it's to see if you overpronate or whatnot. So I went to the shop in Aberdeen and I got fitted with proper shoes, and what a difference that even made. And then I was able to carry on, but I just, even now, you know, I forget what you feel. You allow yourself to try yourself, and you're like, oh, was I really that size? Oh my goodness, was I really that size? That is just, you allow yourself to feel so chuffed and so happy, and give yourself that pat in the back. You've done the hard work, so why shouldn't you?
And it
You know,
also
why
does
shouldn't you?
wonders for your confidence.
Again, it spurs you on for the running, because I know that's what works for me. It totally does. My confidence has gone, whoo, it's soared. I don't mind. I mean, as I say, been down in London in 2019. That was my first half marathon with 16,000 other runners. It didn't put me up nor down particularly, you know, because the running community, they're so lovely. They're absolutely fantastic. Such a nice community. Everybody is spurring everyone else on. You're all there to run your own race, and as I said before, you're looking to better your own times. You're not, unless you're really competitive, you're not competing against others. You're cheering everyone else on. You're helping everyone else on. You know, it's just amazing. It does wonder for the confidence. It really does. I would say it's amazing for me over the years. It really does.
So when you finish up that run in London, think back to your very first tentative steps outside to how far you've come to be able to go and run in front of 16,000 folk in London and not give a jot, and just let your hair do and relax and enjoy yourself and be confident. What a journey you've come on already. Well done, you.
It's honestly amazing. And, you know, you keep carrying on that journey, because there I'm saying, you know, the race in 2019, I did it for charity, for the Cats Protection, which was great.
Good.
Went down, spent the weekend in London. My very first time in London as well, so it was absolutely fantastic. And the kids, they had a ball. And I didn't go back to London. I haven't been back to London. Obviously, COVID and everything struck, so I kept on running, but unfortunately, that took quite a knock for the races and stuff. A lot of the races were done virtual. So this year, 2023, was the first time I went back to London. I did the same race. And it's just amazing. It's just awesome. I went down in April with my mum. She kept me company this time. And I did that race. And then I applied by ballot to get into the Royal Parks in October past. I got a ballot place. I had hoped at that point in time that maybe my partner would be able to come with me, but unfortunately with the weather this year, the Hurst has been... So I did something I never thought I'd do. I went and I booked the flight and I booked the hotel and I went myself. And I had an absolute ball. I went to the Science Museum on the Saturday and then I did my run on the Sunday, and I wasn't nervous or anything. I just enjoyed and embraced every single minute of that trip to London on my own. And I'd do it again in a minute. I really would. And it's something that to be honest, I would never have done before. I'd never have the confidence. And that's how far my confidence has come just by doing the running. It's just amazing. Knowing, again, you know, the Royal Parks is another big run, 16,000 runners, being confident enough to know I'll be okay because these runners will be okay with me. And yeah, I got to my pen. There was 12 different pens there, and I got to my pen, and here was runners all crammed in like this, you know, like sardines. I was chatting to a guy this side, chatting to a lassie this side, and talking about, you know, I got in by ballot, but some were doing it for charity, talking about their charities, just chatting and wishing each other good luck. And then, of course, when it goes and we start to walk out from the pen, and you walk around this wee bit into the actual park, and you're coming towards the start, and you're like, this is it. Plugged the music in and away I went. It was just amazing. It's honestly, Willie, it's the best time I've ever had. It's just, I love London. It's just great. Love the sticks, don't get me wrong, I couldn't live in London, but yeah, the confidence to do that was just, in the Science Museum, it was fantastic.
Okay.
On the Saturday, it was absolutely amazing.
So Lianne, thinking back when your treadmill was your Clay's horse, and you're so glad you'd seen the Clays off and started using it now.
I absolutely am glad. I'm totally chuffed about that. Yep. I'm so glad. And it's scary to think that, you know, if you'd let the negative side of your brain say, no, just not do it today. No, I could still be sitting in the same place, still sitting overweight and still feeling really uncomfortable with myself. Opportunities passing me by, like going to London, you know, it's just, no. And yes, I have had my ups and downs with running. It is something that you can dip in and out of. There's been times, as I say, you know, we've been in the farm now with my partner, and I've totally embraced calving and lambing with him, and took a kind of a break last year from running for a wee while. But it's something you can pick up again and get going, because I just decided last year, I thought, no, I need to get back into running, you know, again, you know, for watching my weight as well, but it just, it's for that confidence and to keep that up as well. And it's just something for me, and we should all have something for ourselves, shouldn't we?
Aye, absolutely. And look at all the new friends you've made through running that you never have met.
Sorry.
No, I was just saying, other friends you've met through running that you would never have met if you hadn't got off your backside and done what you've done.
Totally, absolutely, definitely. You know, there's a lassie up in Bucky, she did a marathon. I've never been brave enough to do a marathon yet. But I went and trained with her for a while. It was a couple of years ago now, but she's absolutely lovely. As I say, the running community are just amazing, and the people you meet and friends you make. It's the same with the equestrian world. You know, the friends that you make through horses is amazing as well. But I would say for me personally, the running has been such a big thing for me. Keeping that weight off, keeping going with the running, keeping the confidence high where you can, is just wow. Yeah. Absolutely something else. Recommend anyone. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but yeah, it's for me, definitely. I love it. Definitely.
I'm listening to all the things you've done, Lianne. Is there anything on your bucket list you want to do but you just haven't got around to doing yet?
I suppose there's always something. Can't really think. I'm really embracing still the life out here in the farm. I've helped my partner a lot with the calving. I've never done a calving myself, so maybe that would be in my bucket list. I absolutely adore the cows. Probably people think cows, yeah, cows, but they really do. They have personalities, and yes, there are beef cattle. Yes, some of them do go for meat. But yeah, they're such lovely personalities. Again, that's something I never, ever, ever saw myself stood there in a park scratching a coo and the coo loving it. So that's something else that I've embraced. I'd love to do my own carving one day, maybe one day. And I've taken the lambing back up. We've got the top in. That's the ram. He's in with his ladies just now. So it's been timed for when I'm off in the April holidays for Easter. Okay. So I won't be doing much running in Easter time. I'll be delivering babies, hopefully, of the variety. Yep. So hopefully they'll all come. So I mean, these are the things that I'm looking for, but I can't think of anything much more for the bucket list. Neil's job one day.
Well, I hope Neil watches this tomorrow. Neil, his job's under threat.
He certainly wants to see it, but he's been warned. You're not allowed to retire yet. I love working with him. He's just a fantastic co-worker. We make a great team. We'll have a laugh, and it lightens the load at work as well. And we're both in a job that we really enjoy. I mean, in terms of the job there, Neil's absolutely fantastic because I've embraced being the biology technician, and I've actually developed, because of my experience in microbiology, they sometimes allow me to teach the juniors about the plates, the agar plates and stuff.
Oh, very good.
So sometimes I'll go into a class and just, it's all sort of layman terms, but you teach them about what they call aseptic techniques. So you're not bringing in unwanted bugs when you're trying to grow up a certain bug. And I've developed some experiments for the 6 years. They now can do what they call a gram stain. It's just a type of stain that you can get on a slide to see what kind of bacteria is there. Okay. Again, it's purely my knowledge from the hospital and university. And I've also developed another experiment, which was an electrophoresis, which is basically it's like separating the banding of the DNA. But I've simplified it so they can try and take it in. I always feel if the kids can visualize it, pupils should I say, because they're not kids at that age, are they? But if they can visualize an experiment to see what's going on, even if it's in simple terms, because I've used dye instead of anything high tech, but you can see it moves like what they call a gel, and you use electrical current. So I did a simplified experiment which works. And they do actually use it. So again, that gives me the drive for the job that I'm doing just now, because Neil allows me to go away and play about. I'll maybe try this, try that, try this, try that until I get it right. And yeah, it's just, I love it. I love my job, so I feel so lucky to be in a job where I can do these things,
Fantastic.
Are you still there?
I'm still there. I'm just listening to you, Lianne. You just a true inspiration to lots of folk who are going to watch this. And for anybody that's got any self-doubt about things they want to do or quite scared to do in case they make a mess, all I can say to them is just watch this, listen to you, then go and do it.
Well, definitely. I can't sit here and say I'm not scared, because there's been many times where I've been terrified. For example, I remember getting the interview for the job that I'm in now, and I thought, I'm not going for that interview. I can't do that. Oh, no. Got the job. When I did eventually go for the interview, I went, and then I thought, I can't start this job. I can't do that. I'm terrified. But you've got to force yourself. You've got to make these sort of decisions to say, right, I'm going to do this. I've got to do this. Because if you don't do it, you're going to be sat in the same place 10 years from now thinking, what if? What if? What's the worst that can happen? Really, what's the worst that can happen? At least if you're out there trying, whether it be running, horses, cattle, or career change, or even any career, what's the worst that can happen? If you fail, that's okay. So you failed at that, so go and try something new, something else.
Mhm.
It's not always easy. I do understand that. It's not always easy, but you've got to try. You really have to try. You've got to go for it. You've got to find that drive within yourself to say, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to do it. And this is how I'm going to try and go for it. And to a certain extent, sometimes it's proving people wrong when people say, you can't do that. And you think, okay, watch me. Watch me. Definitely.
And I often think it's never how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up and keep going and going and going.
Absolutely, definitely. And 9 times out of 10, you will be rewarded for it. You will be rewarded for it. You get back up and you get back out there and you go for it. You will be rewarded for it. It's so worth it. So worth it. I can go and eat my chocolate now after I run. It's the
And
little
not
things.
feel guilty.
Well, that's it. The simple things in life. But yeah, just got to go for it.
Well, Lianne, this has been an absolute pleasure listening to you. And like I say, if anyone's feeling in any shape, doubt, form, whatever, just recommend that you can do the same. Recommend they go and watch this podcast and just take a leaf out of your book and just go for it and do things. So, Lianne, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. I'll now do a bump into your school tomorrow and say, Wally, I forgot to tell you what I was going to tell you. But I can only
Very
thank you
likely.
for coming on.
There's always something.
All right. So thank you very much for coming on, Lianne. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay.
Hey, thank you very much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
You take care. I'll see you at school tomorrow. Thanks, Lianne.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.
Bye, Lianne.
Bye.